You should have brought snacks. We won't order for you. My mother said it lightly, like it was a joke everyone was meant to laugh at. We were sitting at a long restaurant table, menus already taken away, plates already chosen. My sister sat across from me, scrolling on her phone, a glass of wine already poured in front of her. Her kids had appetizers. Her partner had a steak coming. My parents had ordered extra sides, just in case. I had nothing. This wasn't an accident. It never was. I'd arrived on time. I dressed nicely. I'd even brought a small gift because it was supposed to be a family dinner. The kind they insist on, then use as a stage. The waiter glanced at me, confused, pen hovering. My father waved him off. She's fine, he said. She can eat later. Hey, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the bell. Your support means everything and helps me keep creating. Thank you so much. No one objected. My sister smirked and finally looked up. You're always so unprepared, she said. Some people plan ahead. That's when it hit me how practiced this was. How normal it felt to them. They didn't see cruelty. They saw hierarchy. She mattered. I adjusted. As plates arrived, the imbalance grew louder. Food was passed over me. Jokes were made about how I was low maintenance. My mother laughed and said I should be grateful I wasn't picky. My father told a story about my sister's promotion, embellishing details, soaking in pride. No one asked how I was doing. Halfway through the meal, my sister waved the waiter back and ordered dessert. 2 of them. 1 for the kids, she said, then glanced at me. Oh, this one's not for sharing. My mother nodded. You don't need sugar anyway. Something inside me went quiet. I realized this dinner wasn't about food. It was about reminding me where I stood, about training me to accept scraps with a smile, about watching to see if I'd protest, so they could label me difficult. I didn't say a word. I didn't leave. I didn't argue. I just watched them eat. And for the first time, I stopped trying to belong to a table that only kept me there to feel superior. They thought the evening was ending exactly how they planned. They were wrong. When the check came, my father grabbed it before it even touched the table. He always did that. Not out of generosity, but control. Paying meant deciding. Paying meant leverage. He scanned the bill, frowned theatrically, then sighed. Prices are insane these days, he said, loud enough for the waiter to hear. We're basically feeding an army. My sister laughed. Well, not everyone, she said, glancing at my empty place setting. No one corrected her. The waiter asked if we wanted separate checks. My mother waved her hand like he'd suggested something offensive. Of course not, she said. Family pays together. Then she turned to me. You can send your share later. I looked up. My share of what? She blinked, annoyed. The dinner. I didn't eat. Silence. Not shock. Not confusion. Just irritation, like I'd broken a script. My father leaned back in his chair. Don't be dramatic, he said. You were here. You benefited from the atmosphere. The atmosphere. My sister nodded. Yeah, it's not our fault you chose not to order. That was the moment I understood something clearly. They would rewrite reality without hesitation, as long as it protected their comfort. Facts didn't matter. Fairness didn't matter. Only the story where they were reasonable and I was inconvenient. I took my phone out and opened my banking app. Not to send money. To check something I'd been avoiding for months. I'd always helped quietly. Covered shortfalls. Paid temporary expenses that were never repaid. When my sister needed help with rent, when my parents were between investments, when emergencies conveniently landed on my shoulders, I told myself it was family. I told myself it would balance out one day. It never had. The number staring back at me wasn't small. It wasn't imaginary. It was the accumulated cost of years of being the reliable one, the invisible one, the one expected to absorb discomfort so others wouldn't have to. I locked the screen and slid the phone back into my bag. Dessert arrived. Plates clinked. Sugar and laughter filled the air. My sister's kids smeared chocolate on their faces. My mother dabbed at her mouth with a napkin and said, "This was nice. We should do this more often." Then she looked at me. If you can afford it. I smiled. Not tightly. Not politely. Just calmly. I won't be sending anything. I said. The table froze. My father's smile dropped first. Excuse me? I said I won't be sending money. I repeated. I didn't eat. I wasn't included. I'm not paying. My sister scoffed. Wow. Overreact much. My mother leaned in, voice sharp. You're embarrassing us. No, I said. You've been embarrassing me for years. I just stopped covering it. My father's tone changed. Cold now. Don't forget. Who helped you when you were starting out? I met his eyes. I didn't. That was the problem. I remembered everything. I stood up, picked up my bag, and nodded to the waiter. Thank you. As I walked away, I heard my sister mutter, unbelievable, and my mother whisper, she's always been ungrateful. I didn't turn around. Outside, the night air felt different, lighter, like my lungs finally had room. My phone buzzed before I reached my car. A text from my father. We need to talk about your attitude. This isn't how family behaves. I stared at the message for a long moment. Then I deleted it. What they didn't know, what none of them bothered to ask, was that this dinner wasn't the first boundary I'd set. The fallout didn't come all at once. It crept in. The next morning, my sister posted a vague quote about toxic people who think the world owes them. My aunt liked it. My mother didn't call. That silence was deliberate, punitive. They'd always used it to pull me back in. This time, I let it sit. 3 days later, my father showed up at my door, without warning. No anger. No shouting. Just disappointment carefully packaged. You embarrassed us, he said, standing in my hallway like he still had authority there. People noticed. I noticed years ago, I said. He sighed. Your sister is under a lot of stress. You know how sensitive she is. I nodded. I do. That's why everyone tiptoes. That's why I paid. He stiffened. Paid for what? I walked to my desk and handed him a folder. Bank statements. Transfers. Dates. Notes I'd kept for myself, never planning to show anyone. The numbers told the story better than I ever could. His face changed as he flipped through them. Confusion first, then something closer to fear. This can't be right, he said. It is, I replied. And it stops now. He looked up. So what, you're cutting us off? I thought about it. About the dinners where I ate last or not at all. The jokes. The expectations. The way my needs were always negotiable. I'm stepping back. I said, from paying. From explaining. From proving I belong. He left without another word. Weeks passed. No invitations. No calls asking for help. Then the first crack appeared. My sister needed money. My parents assumed I'd cave. I didn't. They found someone else to lean on. It didn't last. The last message I received was from my mother. Short. Unpolished. We didn't realize how much you were doing. I stared at it for a long time. Then I replied. I know. I didn't add forgiveness. I didn't add conditions. I didn't reopen the door. That dinner taught me something simple and permanent. When people tell you you don't deserve a seat, believe them, and build your own table. I did.